We have question number 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4. It's easy questions. Let's warm up with those. I want you all to start with your pen and papers. You write on your pen, on your paper with your pen. You write 1.1 and then the question. You work it out. You write 1.2, the question, and you work it out. Okay? Going to give you all, let's say, 3 minutes. 4 questions, 3 minutes. That's pushing it, I think, but I think you can do it. Okay? 3 minutes start now. Let's go.
Let's do this, guys. Let's show teacher Hugo that we can do this. Come on, guys, I believe in you. Let's go.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. I just know that when I was in grade 8, I got caught up on the basics like time and time again. I'd be like, you know, give me these difficult ones, give me those difficult ones. I can do it. And I was so confident. And then come the easy ones and I get caught up on the basics. Like,
that's true.
Oops.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
We need to always be wake up for these basic ones because they catch us here. They actually do.
Let's go, my people. Wanda, I'm counting on you. Yola, everybody. Let's go. I see Devo's calculating. So guys, let's list them, okay? Because you have 3 minutes. So don't try to write it on the chat. Try to write it on your book first. Do all of them, and then you can then type, okay? Like listing all of them when you are done, because you only have 3 minutes.
Some good tips. You have a clever TA. I would suggest listening. Very important. Questions like this in the exam. I didn't put that here today, but questions like this in the exam, they would put in brackets, little cute brackets that say, show your work. Okay? So that means you cannot just boom, boom in the calculator and boom, boom, write down equals this. They're going to ask you to show your work. Okay? And that is how they ensure that you do not do it with a calculator. They need you to know what's going on here. Okay? So, okay, wait, sorry. We still have like a minute to go. Okay, Precious, you can't hear me. Okay, teacher Yolinda's going to sort you out. All right. Few seconds. Okay, I think, oh, okay, let's give it a few more seconds. I'm so excited to get started with you guys. I feel like I'm having a Zoom user, whoever that may be, and I'm having Refilion, giving me all the answers already. Oh, or maybe it's Refelo, yeah. Tinswa, giving me all the answers. Okay, so we're ready to go. Let's see. I'm going to start drawing. We have the brackets. First of all, the brackets. Okay, they catch us with brackets time and time again. The brackets and then the cubed outside of the bracket means we're going to minus 3 multiplied by minus 3 3 times. Okay, minus 3 times minus 3. Okay, let's look at the first one. Minus 3 and minus 3 is going to give us, let me see, I'm going to change my color. Minus 3 times minus 3. Okay, now I'm going to need you all in the chat. Thanks for the answers. Very cute and all, but I'm going to need you to work with me in the chat. Minus 3 times minus 3. We have a negative times a negative. We know the answer is going to be positive, and then we know 3 times 3 is 9. Thank you so much. For minus 3 times minus 3, we're going to have 9. Now we have these two sorted. Now we need to multiply by negative 3 again. So we have positive 9 multiplied by negative 3. First of all, we need to figure out our signs. Positive times a negative is going to give us something negative. Now we need to do 9 times 3. It's going to be, thank you so much, 27. Great, 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 great. All right, let's look at 1.2. Negative 5 squared. The answer for this is going to be, it's not negative 27. We moved on already. All right. It's not just 25. It's going to be negative 25. Thank you so much. All right. Now we have negative 1 in brackets once again to the power of 200. Now this looks super freaky, but let's think about it. Let's think about this, okay? So 1 to the power of anything is always 1. So we can assume that the same goes for negative 1, okay? Negative 1 to the power of anything is going to be 1 also, okay? Not negative 1, it's going to be 1. Okay, now, Nelson, thank you so much for giving me negative 200. That's wrong, by the way, but it's a mistake that we make, that we often make. So if this question was 200 to the power of 1, then it would be, sorry, negative 1. Then it would be, the answer would be negative 200. Okay? But it's not that. It is negative 1 is my base number. 200 up there, my exponent is 200. My base number is not 200. Only if my base number is 200 and to the power of negative 1, then I will get the answer negative 200, okay? But because 200 is my exponent and not my base number, I cannot have anything close to 200 as a number because my base as an answer. Because my base number is negative 1, my answer will be 1. All right. Let's have a look at 1.4. All right. This is weird, guys. We have more brackets and it's getting more difficult. I'm going to need some answers in the chat for this one. This is a weird one. I'm getting 1,000. Okay. Let's think about BODMAS. BODMAS. There I'm getting, we short a 0. Some of us are shorting a 0. It's actually not just 1,000. There we go. There we go. Okay. Some of us are just shorting a 0. I'm assuming it's a typo because this class is just way too clever. So because of BODMAS, we're going to do whatever's inside the bracket first. Okay. So let me get my blue pen again. We're going to say equal. We're going to figure out what's going on inside the brackets. 10 to the power of 2 is the same as saying 10 times 10. 10 times 10 is, let me get that in the chat. 10 times 10, 100. Thank you so much. Now that's sorting out the brackets according to the law of BODMAS. We sorted out the bracket first. Now the O in BODMAS is for orders, or some say BEDMAS. The E is for exponents. Now only we do the exponent, okay? So we need to say 100 multiplied by itself, and that's going to give us a 1 with 4 zeros. And the 4 zeros makes it 10,000. Thank you so much. 10K, Diego, well done, but please don't put that in the exam. They're not going to take 10K. It needs to be 10,000. Okay, well done. All right, let me scroll down. Zoom user has a question. I will take your question just now. I'm just going to scroll down so that we can see the next of what we need to do. I want you to have a look at 2 and 3. Write the following numbers in scientific notation. That's for number 2. And then for number 3, we need to write the following numbers in ordinary notation. Okay, so these questions are opposite. They're actually giving you tips. Okay, they're giving you tips. The second question, or the question number 3, is a tip for the answer to number 2, and number 2 is a clue to the answer for number 3. Okay, so just write that out on your pens and papers quickly, and then I'm giving you 2 minutes. You don't actually a minute. You don't need more than that. And then I'm going to attend to Zoom user's question. Zoom user, I ask you to unmute, and then first thing you can tell me your name.
Good evening, sir. My name is Andy.
Andy.
Yes.
Hi, Andy. It's so nice
Hello.
to know your name. Let me
Nice
know
to
what your
meet
question
you.
is.
My question is for 1.2, how is it minus 25 instead of 25?
Okay, good. So, because there's no bracket, okay,
Yeah.
it's going to be, let me use like a red pen so that you can see what I'm doing here. Because there's no bracket, it's negative and then basically 5 times 5.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
But like in number 1, where we had the bracket and the negative was included in the bracket, that's why we said negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. But
Yeah.
now that there's no bracket, the order is closer to the 5 than the minus. So the minus stands aside, and we do 5 times 5, and then we bring back the minus.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'm so happy. Oh, my word, now my thing is. But I'm so happy that I could help you. Okay, let's look at ND. ND, how can I help you? I'm asking to unmute. Is there anything that I can do for you, ND?
Sorry, so Andy was the Zoom user that we changed.
Oh, you just changed the name. Obviously, I was just talking to ND.
Sorry.
Goodness, where is my cup? My cup is going somewhere. My cup is going places I'm not going with. Okay, so I'm assuming then there's no question. This is question time now, but there's no questions then. Sorry that I moved off what you were supposed to do. I'm going to give you another second to quickly do number 2 and 3 for me.
Let's go, guys. 2 more seconds. Let's do it snappy, snappy. Remember, you must write it on your book first, okay? And then you can put it on the chat. Like this, when we correct, you know exactly what you've written. And when teacher Hugo teaches us how to do it, we can do the corrections, okay, my people? Also good for your notes.
Ewe, inkosi kakhulu.
Yebo. Yebo.
Okay, I'm not good with silence, but in silence, while some are still working, I'm gonna start putting in the answers, okay? Oh, goodness. Let's work in green for a change. 2.1. Scientific notation is what we need. We're gonna say 2 times 10 to the power of 5. Oh yeah, I said silence, sorry. I'm gonna try and work in silence again. Now, I hope you're all following. If there's anybody that disagrees, you need to let me know in the chat. Anybody that disagrees, let me know in the chat. Okay, so I just did that weird 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there so that you can see you need 5 zeros. That's important for number 3.2. If you're missing a 0, I'm sorry to say, but then you're missing a mark. Then it's going to be wrong, okay? You need to have 5 zeros there. Okay. Jade Lee. Okay, she's gone again. Anyway, I hope that you can see the correct answers on the screen. For number 2, we had to go from ordinary writing to scientific notation, ordinary notation to scientific notation. That's why we counted the amount of zeros, and that is then 2 times 10 to the power of the amount of zeros that you had, okay? Then for number 2.2, it's 12,345. Then we just move the comma up 1, and when we move a comma, we add, it means we have to multiply by 10, okay? We move the comma 1 space, so we only have to multiply by 10. It's as good as saying 10 to the power of 1, okay? Because we only had to move 1 space. For number 3, we needed to go back to ordinary writing. So for that, it's quite easy because we actually just calculate what they give us. So they give us 1,3 times 10 to the power of 2. Okay. Now, if you can't see the answer straight away, if you're not used to scientific notation or ordinary notation or going from one to the other, then it's very simple. You can just calculate. So we're going to do 1.3 times 10 squared is 100. So 1.3 times 100 is 130. And the same goes for 3.2. It's just a bigger sum. And remember, I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. You need all of those zeros for this answer to be correct. Any questions, Nelson? Nelson? Yeah, Bo, how are you doing?
Fine, sir, and you?
I'm excellent, thank you. How can I help you?
So, sir, 2.1, I found another way of doing it.
Okay, talk to me.
So I said 20 to the power of 2.
Oh, okay, I get you. Well done. But that is not scientific notation. Okay, so that's just a different way of writing. Well done for discovering a different way of writing. That's what you did there. But it's not scientific notation. Scientific notation, we are looking specifically, I'm just going to mute you. Scientific notation, we're looking specifically for this situation here. We need 10 to the power of something. That is scientific notation, not just anything to the power of anything. It needs to be 10 to the power of something. That is scientific notation. Nelson, I'm going to need you to just give me a yes or no. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so well done for finding another way to write the number, but it is not scientific. Okay, it's not scientific, it's just another way in writing. Okay, Bokamo.
Yeah, sir, it's BK.
Sorry?
2.1 and 2.2.
Yes.
I don't understand it at all.
Okay, so maybe you haven't done scientific notation before.
I have, but I can't get it right.
Okay, no problem. So scientific notation, I'm gonna give you a quick wrap on this. And if you still do not understand, I'm going to ask you to go check the YouTube channel for where we did scientific notation. Teacher Sam did that with you, and then she'll spend an hour explaining it to you. Okay, so if you don't understand the simple explanation, just go check out the YouTube channel. All right, for scientific notation, we need to make numbers with a bunch of zeros, or maybe just huge numbers. We need to make them look easier, okay? Or we need to make them easier to interpret, okay? So what we all do when it comes to big numbers, for example, like 200,000, we look at the 2 and then we count the zeros. And that's how we figure out it's 200,000. That's what we do. Now, scientific notation actually just makes it easier for us. It counts the zeros. So we write it as the 2 times 10. So the 10 represents a 0. And then the 5 tells us how many zeros it represents. So 2 times 10 to the power of 5 means it's a 2 with 5 zeros. That's the number. So that's scientific notation. I hope that it helped at all. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Did that help a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very glad. All right. I have one more question and then I'm going to carry on.
So, sir,
Yebo.
on 3,
Yebo.
at my school, they told me another thing. Like way
Yes.
another thing. Like they said, if you want to get your ordinary notation, you have to move the comma to your right, to your
Yes,
left.
but okay. Bear with me. So that's what I did. Let me take, I didn't use that method per se, but it comes down to the same thing. And you can just as well add the comma or move your comma and you're going to get the same answer. So let me show you. I'm going to take my green and the comma was here and I had to move it 7 spaces. That's why I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can put my comma here. It's not going to make a difference to the answer because comma 0 can just as well be left out. Comma 0. Does that look familiar or does it help or does it work or does it align with what you were taught?
Well, sir, on 3.1, my answer, which I used the method from my school, was 0.13.
Okay, but that is, even with this method, that's wrong, unfortunately, because if we used your method, your school's method, then remember, multiply, the comma needs to move to the right. So the comma was sitting here, and then it needs to move to the right. How many spaces?
2 times.
Yes, 1, 2, and then I put my comma in there, comma, 0. Can you see that even with your method, this is the correct answer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I could help. All right, let's carry on. I'm scrolling down. Which of the following numbers is bigger? I'm going to give you a second to have a look at that. And also, please look at number 5, question number 5, simplify the following. And question number 4, which of these numbers are bigger? I'm going to give you 5 minutes, guys. Please have a look at that for me. Any questions so far? Please put up your hand. Let me know if there's any questions. Okay. Oh, one question that I had is gone again. Okay, let's have a look at number 4. So what we need to do here to get the correct answer is we need to write this in ordinary notation. Okay, let me get the answers in the chat. 4.4, class, grade 8, let me know which one do you think is bigger for number 4. Question number 4 in the chat, going now. I need you to type, okay, you don't need to type all of this. I'm just gonna say A or B. Which one is bigger? Ooh, I have A's and B's coming through. More A than B, it seems. There I have another B. A, B. A, B, A, sir. A, B, A, B. Okay, so the correct answer is B. Definitely B. Do you know why? If you write this out in scientific notation, you will find that, let me erase a bit here. You will find that even though that's a 5 and that's a 2, and the 5 is bigger than the 2, yes, we all know that. But even though the 5 is bigger than the 2, this is to the power of 11, which means it has a whole, it's another digit. So it's like, it's the one would be billion and the other one would be trillion. So if you can get 2 trillion, why would you take 5 billion? You get what I'm saying? Yes, yes. Thank you, Chipo. So the correct answer is B. Let me just put that there again, B, and I'm going to circle it. Because of the 10 to the power of 11, we have a whole nother digit. All right, let's look at 5. Simplify the following. 2 to the power of 7 times 2 to the power of 3. Remember, one of these basic ones again, we cannot just use our calculator. In the exam, they would ask you to show your work, okay? That means you need to show us how you got your answer. So we're going to say 2. Oh, let me get a different color. We're going to say bracket 2 multiplied by itself 7 times. And then we're going to say multiplied by 2 multiplied by itself 3 times. And then the correct answer is going to be, yes, thank you, Jade Lee, 2 to the power of 10. Well done. We don't need to write out all the 0. Oh, goody. My screen, sorry, give me a sec. Okay, just give me a sec, guys. My screen failed on me, but I'm getting it to work again. Okay, there we go. You can all see my screen again. So Because we multiply and the base numbers are the same, we can add the orders. Okay, so the answer is going to be 10 to the power of, oh my goodie, lost you again. Okay, anyway, the answer is going to be 10. Yes, 2 to the power of 10. Right, for number 5.2, 2x to the power of 3 times 4x to the power of 4. Can I have any answers in the chat for that one so long? Any answers in the chat for that one? So the 2 and the 4 we can multiply with each other, and we're going to get 8. My screen is back up. I'm sure that you're all supposed to, or you should all be able to. Yeah, it works now. Okay, good. Yes, 8. And then because the base is x, it's the same for both. We can again multiply, which means we can add the orders. So that is 3 plus 4, 7. Well done. Oh, wait, what is this thing? To x to the power of 7. All right. 5.3 was a bit more complex, although it looks to be more complex. But remember, when we divide, we just do the opposite of what we do when we multiply. Okay, so the answer for 4.3 is going to be -2, because the numbers we can divide. -8 divided by 4 is -2, and then our bases remain y, and then 6 minus 3, because we divide, remember, we do the opposite, so 6 minus 3. I do see sum to the power of 9s, but remember, division opposite of multiplication. Because we divide, we do minus, we don't add, and then the answer is 2y, -2y to the power of 3. All right, let's look at 5.4. Any answers in the chat? Any takers for 5.4? Me, Nelson, put your hand up, Nelson. There we go. Nelson is so obedient. Good boy. There you go, Nelson. What's your answer for 5.4?
It's 3x over 24.
3x over 24. No, sorry. How did you get that? It's not, no, sorry. Can't be. Okay, I have, sorry, Nelson, I'm gonna mute you and lower your hand. That wasn't correct. Well done for trying. Thank you. That's what we all need to do. Oh, they are lost. There we go. There you are again. Tando, tell me what's your answer that you got.
Okay, so for my answer, so I just left the just left the 3x, and then and then what I just did, I came and multiplied the exponents, and it gave me 24.
So you have 3x to the power of 24.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are closer to the correct answer than Nelson was, but still not correct. Okay, let me explain this. So to the power of means, to the power of 3 cubed means that whatever's in the bracket multiplied by itself 3 times. Now, I'm going to write this out, and then maybe some of you will see the answer more clear. 3x to the power of 8 multiplied by 3x. Oh, what am I doing? Multiplied by 3x to the power of 8. Is this starting to look familiar? I hope it is. For those that weren't sure about this, please go ahead and recalculate. This is looking very familiar. So what we're gonna do, okay, I haven't spoken to Vudira. Vudira, I've asked to unmute, chat to me. First, tell me, how do I pronounce your name? I'm so silly with pronunciation, sorry.
So it's only Woody.
Vudi, okay, that's so easy actually. Thank you, Vudi. Tell me, how do you have an answer for me?
Yes, what I said is just I said 3 to the power of 1 times 3.
Yes. So
And
then your
X
answer for that is?
It's 27x to the power of 24.
Well done. 27, because we said 3 times 3 times 3. Okay. And then we have our x, because they remain the same. And then because we multiply, like we did in the previous ones, we can add our orders, okay? So that means adding 8, 3 times 8 plus 8 plus 8 is gonna give us, like Vudi said, 24. So the correct answer here, thank you for everybody in the chat, 27, because we had 3 times 3 times 3, x 24, because we have power of 8, power of 8, power of 8 added together. All right, thank you so much, everybody. So bracket 2x to the power of 5, bracket 0.5x to the power of -5. All right, the answer for this will be, if we multiply out the brackets, then we get 1x, because 2 times 0.5 is 1, okay? And then x with its power multiplied by x with its power is going to be 5 minus 5. I am expecting to get a lot of questions about this, but so if anybody doesn't understand this, please let me know. And then 5 minus 5 equals 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. So the answer to this very silly question is 1. I do not understand how, impossible. Okay, let's go through this. So, first of all, you need to understand that anything directly next to a bracket means multiply. So if two brackets stand directly next to each other and there's no signs in between, it means multiply, okay? So these two brackets are being multiplied by each other. The next thing you have to understand is, okay, wait, let me erase some of this. And that's going to give me some space to work. And I can run through this with those who don't understand it yet. It is not just straightforward. So bear with me and do not feel bad if you didn't catch it. So that means multiply. Now, I'm going to take my red. We do, oh, yeah. So this is 0.5. Now, I'm going to take my red and I'm going to sort out my known numbers first. So because it's multiply, we have to multiply all the like units together. Okay, so 2 multiplied by 0,5. Let's have that in the chat. Please, with me in the chat, last few minutes. Yes, 2 multiplied by 0,5 is 1. Thank you so much. So we know that that is sorted. Now, in green, I'm going to do this whole x situation, the x with its power multiplied by this x with its power. Anybody that do not understand that, you have an x with its power in the one bracket multiplied by the x and its power in the next bracket, okay? Straightforward. Now, that's going to give us, remember, when we multiply, we can add orders. We did that. We did that in the previous bit easier examples. We did that. When you multiply the bases, you can add their orders. Okay? I hope you remember that. So we're going to have, just give myself some more space over here. I'm just like Teacher Sam now, not giving myself enough space to work with. So I'm going to put the equal here. And then I have my 1, which was the 2 times 0,5. And now I'm going to have x to the power of 5. And like I said, because we multiply, we can add the terms. So plus negative 5. Okay, that's my orders up there. Now, let's remember, 2 signs next to each other, they need to battle. Which sign always wins? The negative. Okay, that means I have equal 1x 5 negative 5 minus 5. Okay, yes, the negative side always wins. Refilo. So I basically added, but because that 1 to the power of 5 was a negative, that's why it ends up being 5 minus 5. But I actually added, okay? I hope you all understand that. And then I have 1 times x to the power of, let's all have this in the chat. It's a simple question to end the night off with. 5 minus 5. What's 5 minus 5? Can I have that in the chat, please? 5 minus 5. Anybody? Thank you. I have my zeros coming in. It is 0. All right. Anything to the power of 0, we learned this last year. It was the basics of exponents. Anything to the power of 0 is always 1. Thank you. I don't need my zeros coming in anymore. I need it to be 1. We need 1s coming in now. Anything to the power of 0 is always 1. Okay? So that gives us 1 times 1. Because if there's no sign, like there is nothing here, it means multiply. So it's basically 1 times x to the power of 0. So now I'm just saying, and we know that anything to the power of 0 is 1. Now I'm saying 1 times 1. And please, in the chat again, give me 1 times 1. What's that going to be? It's gonna be 1. That's how I got my answer. Thank you so much. If there's any questions, please put your hand up. And for the rest, I am done. And I am like done.